Yo, once again, it's on. Back at you one more again in the House Like Kitchen Sinks with part two. One thing about prison, as I was already previously telling you all, and if you haven't seen part one, I'm going to pin it in the comment section, and y'all go check out part one, and then you come back to part two. Does it make sense to you? Can't play with nobody in prison, man. You know, it's people talk a little stuff here and there, you know, when it comes to sports, and oh man, your team is trash or my team is better than yours, that's why we beat y'all, you know, something simple like that. And even that, I've seen people get their wig split. But when it comes to, you know, cussing and your teams is bitches, F New York, no, that's a major no. You don't do that. You don't do that. New York, he's peeping all of this. Okay. He remains calm. I got you. Now, at the end of the day, when it's time to settle up, right? Well, depending on what time the latest game ends, it may just be tomorrow. Sometimes the games end early enough, and if the ticket man owes you, you know, $30, $40, $20, $10, whatever he owes you, he can bring it out. Or it may just be, hey, you know, we'll settle up tomorrow. No big deal. No problem. Next day, New York has something in mind. Okay. You want to talk all of that stuff? Talking about, you know, we Kentucky. I know where we at. I'm speaking, you know, from the point of view of New York. I know where we're at. But he wants to talk all of that stuff or whatever. I got something for him. You see, New York was trying to do the honorable thing. He easily could have trucked him. When I say trucking means in Kentucky, Department of Corrections means, man, I ain't paying you. I'm trucking you. Get it off the roof. Find the highest water tower, and that's where whatever I owe you, that's where it's at. So you get it off the roof. You get it off the water tower. New York easily could have done that to Mop Head, but he said, nah, I ain't even gonna do a little youngster like that. I mean, I kind of know him. I kind of like the little cat a little bit or whatever, but I must teach him a lesson about running his mouth. Could have resorted to violence. Could have easily split his wig. But this is a man that has been on death row, man. Served 19 years in the California Department of Corrections, man. Went from being to death row to life without to however many years he got or whatever to getting out on parole by surprise. Or just being released, rather, by surprise. This dude didn't want to go back down that road. But I must protect my honor. I must protect my integrity. I must not allow this individual to talk crazy to me, because if I allow this, guess what? Then the next individual is going to come along thinking that he can play with me. So I'm not about to let nobody play with me, man. Next day comes, as I mentioned. He has all type of people that owe him things. You know, as a houseman, you lose. Every once in a while, you may get busted up or whatever. But being that he ran all the tickets, being that, you know, he had the store or whatever, he always had commissary. He always had items. He always had money orders that was coming to him on a daily basis. What they do is called a store list. Say you owe me $15. He owes me $12. He owes me $30. He owes me $10. That's what I want y'all to do, man. I want you to go to the store. You owe me 10. Give me 100 packs of mustard. 100 packs of mustard, bro. What do you do? Don't you owe me $10? So get me 100 packs of mustard. Now mustard packs cost 10 cents. So it's equivalent to $10. 100 packs equivalent to $10. Tells another individual that owes him, I need you to get me 100 packs of relish. Tells another individual, I need you to get me 100 packs of ketchup. Everybody's looking at him strange. You're like, OG, because some people call him OG, New York, whatever. OG, you sure about this? Bruh, just trust me. 100 packs of relish, 100 packs of mustard, 100 packs of ketchup. I hope I said it right. Maybe mayonnaise was in there somewhere. I don't know. I just know total it was 300 packs of condiments. Yo, what up, youngster? He called Mop Head youngster. What up, youngster? Man, I got that for you, man. I went to the store earlier, you know what I'm saying? I got that for you. Just, come through and get it whenever you get a chance. Again, they're in the same dorm, just different bays, different units. When I say different bays, different units, mean we all in dorm A. But then you have bays. We got A bay, even though we in dorm A. You got A bay, A bay bay, A bay bay, A bay bay. You got B bay, you got C bay, you got D bay, you got E bay. And I think they even had an F bay. Each bay holds like 50, 60 people, whatever. You have a guard that's in the middle. Everything's a circle. So you have a guard's tower, and everything is glass. You can see through each bay. Can't see everything that a person's doing, but you can see. It's just everything is glass. He tells them to come in or whatever. He gives them the bag. Hold up, bro. What is this? I owed you $30, right? $30, man? Nah, I ain't. Nah, man. Bro, I owed you $30. This is $30 worth of commissary. Nah, hell no. New York? Nah, I ain't going for that, dog. You trying to play me. Bruh, you won your ticket. Here's your $30. On top of that, I gave you, because when you bet something in prison, whatever you bet, you get that back if you win. So say he put in a tuna pouch that was $2. He gave him his tuna pouch back, which was the $2, and I gave you $30 worth of winnings. What is the problem? You don't pick and choose what you get, bro. I'm the house man, and I paid out. No, man, I ain't on that, man. You gonna see me for that, son? And he's lightweight mocking New York. You gonna see me for that, son? Man, it is what it is, man. Next time, don't talk shit to me, kid. Don't talk shit to me. Everybody laughing and shit, right? Niggas is laughing like a mug. Just imagine somebody owed you $30 and they give you 300 packs of ketchup, mustard, and relish, mayonnaise, whatever the case may be. You're gonna be sick about that. Everybody's laughing but Mophead. Rightfully so. Mophead didn't think that was funny by any stretch of the imagination. Mophead's already kind of looking at him, kind of, they have this thing here, and I mean, it's probably like this everywhere. Like, okay, we from Kentucky. You ain't even from here, bro. You old New York ass nigga. That's how, some people think. Same way in New York, it may be some people that, man, this Kentucky ass nigga, man. Okay. You think he's funny? We're gonna see what's really, really funny. Mophead had a couple goons, I ain't gonna necessarily call them goons, but he had a couple people that, rock with him that was in his car. We're gonna get dude, man. We're gonna get dude. A few days later, maybe 2 days later or so, New York's out on the yard doing what he does, putting down on the poker games. Thing about prison, especially in the summertime, man, you may be on the yard all day long playing poker, doing whatever you do on the yard. Now, depending on what type of job you have and depending on what's going on with that, if you're in school or whatever, but you're gonna spend as much time as you possibly can on that yard. The majority of people that I ran across, just doing whatever it takes to ease your mind, to put yourself in a situation where you don't feel as though you're in prison, although you clearly are. They decide we gonna ride, man. Mophead, 2 of his associates, they go in the dorm. They go in the bay in which New York resides in. They going on a Saturday. That's what lets me know this is somewhat strategic. So actually it was more than a couple days later, because the football game was on a Monday night, I believe. So he paid them on that Tuesday. Visits is on that Saturday. Waits until Saturday. On a Saturday, it's not very many people in the dorm. You got people that's on the yard. You got people that's in visitations. You may have some people that's in the rec room, or they're just, some people's at work. It's not very many people in the dorm. Yeah, there's still people in the dorm, but it's not very many. They go inside They go to his little cube area or whatever. They get in his locker. They got a hammer. Apparently, Moped had somebody check out a hammer from, or borrow a hammer from the supply room, the tool room. That's what they call it, the tool room. They got this hammer. They break the lock. They just give you them little cheap combination locks in prison. They got their bags. You got to understand, his locker was stacked with food, man. He had all type of stuff. Then he got like 2 foot lockers, but he got several other people that's holding his commissary, because you can only have so much commissary in prison, and he had so much of it, he's paying people to hold his commissary. Man, they take all the man's food out of his locker, man. They take all of the food. Now, hold on, kids, hold on. What about the people in the dorms? Why? They didn't say anything, because in prison, they see no evil, hear no evil. Plus, they was masked up, man. They you get sheets in prison, right? To put over your rack or whatever. They done cut the sheets, put them over their face, poke the eyes out or whatever. So, put the toboggans on. So, on the camera, you really can't tell that they masked up, because you put that toboggan on or whatever. And they rode on dudes. That happens all the time in prison, man. Seen dudes get rode on plenty of times, man. They go in, grab what they grab or whatever. Nobody's in the queue. They leave out. Now, Moped feels like, okay, we got the last laugh. I told that old New York ass nigga he don't play with me. Man, he's not running around telling people, but word travels in the penitentiary, man. The penitentiary, most of the time, people know what's going on the streets faster than people on the streets know what's going on. That's how fast word travels in the pen, man. Y'all rock with me, man. 700 degrees out here. Several hours later, New York comes back in to find out that he's been robbed, man. He's been robbed blind. All this stuff, as I mentioned, is gone out of his locker. He sees that the lock is broke. He's heated. He's asking around, man, y'all see somebody come in my queue? Nobody saw nothing. And all the people in the wing, in the unit, nobody see nothing. Nobody seen anybody come in the queue. I heard something earlier, but I didn't necessarily see it. I was asleep or whatever. People lie around sleeping, and the people that are in the unit, they could have had their headphones on, because if you have enough money to buy you a TV, you can buy you a TV in state prison in Kentucky, but you must use headphones to listen to them. So it's very possible that the few people that were in the dorm, they didn't hear anything because they had their headphones on, and they're not really watching to see. Long as no one's coming in their little area, they're not necessarily looking at everybody else's area. And you rarely see anything like that happens in prison. Most of the time, they're going to run in your cell and run down on you. Nevertheless, New York is heated. But he's still calm about the situation. Can't go to the police. That makes him a rat. And that's what Moped and his crew, that's what they counted on. Okay, we're going to see how a real dude is. What's he going to do? Run and tell the police? They can't say that I did it. Everybody's masked up. Okay. This how we playing. I try to spur a dude, but this is how we playing. You see, New York could have trucked him, as I mentioned, but he's an honorable dude, and he wants to pay his debt. He has a reputation of paying out. If I lose, I pay. And he specialized in it. If I lose, I don't care what I lose, I pay. Just afford me the same, the same courtesy. He knew who did it. He didn't say a word. Just kick back. Yeah, he lost a couple of dollars on commissary, but like I said, he had so much other food, he wasn't worried about it. It was like a drop in the bucket. Never said a word. Never said not one word. Continued to have his poker games. Moped never came back to the table. I guess he kind of knew that he couldn't come back to that table, right? All along, New York is plotting on him. He told me, he said, bro, I'm going to get him, man. I couldn't even really say nothing. First of all, he's the OG. That's the first thing. Secondly, you know that dude robbed you. So I feel you when you say you got to get your get back. I'm going to get him. But I'm going to just lay low. Now, at this particular time, while all this is going on, I had made parole. Well, I was going up for parole initially, but I eventually found out that I made parole. Well, when you find out that you make parole, and again, this is in Kentucky, they may tell you, say your parole date is in August. They don't give you an actual parole date. They give you a parole month. So they say, Kens, you going up for parole in August. Well, they may call me up for parole or review my file in June, early July. Take me up for parole a month and a half, 2 months early. So if I make parole, I still got to wait until August to leave. You see what I'm saying? So during that time frame or whatever, I was waiting on my parole decision. And come to find out, I made parole. I said, bro, I don't want you getting involved in none of this, man. Which, to be perfectly honest, I wasn't trying to get involved in any of that because, bro, I done made parole. I'm going to go home to my family. I ain't got no time to be fighting in here over no $30, $40 or whatever. But New York was so cool, he had already understood that. See, that's one of the things about prison when you get cool with somebody or you got a cellie with somebody or whatever. And when I say a cellie, you in an actual cell with somebody. It's kind of like you not joined at the hip with them, but you all cool, so if something pops off, they expecting you to ride, and vice versa. You may not be on no drama, no anything of the sorts. We kick it every day. We eat together. We work out together. We talk, at night or whatever. Talk about the problems or just kick it, whatever. And somebody runs up on dude, my cellie, and it's 3 or 4 of them. Well, I'm expected to jump in and help, even though I don't have nothing to do with anything that's going on. That's just the politics. That's just the rules of the penitentiary. And if you don't, then you're going to deal with the consequences of not doing it. It's a crazy situation. You stay out of it, bro. I got this. Trust me, man. I got this. All right, man. Week goes past. Nothing happens. 2 weeks goes past. Nothing happens. 3 weeks goes past. Now, after about the 3rd week, my pet, he loves to play, poker too. Him in New York, they done talk. Listen, bro. The whole robbery thing never comes up. I don't appreciate you giving me all them, condiments, ketchup, mustard, and all that, but I understand, man. I was talking crazy about your squad. I had to sit down with another OG and he explained to me, and you was just trying to teach me a lesson, bro. You know what I'm saying? Can we squash it? New York's, yeah, we cool, man. Ain't no problem, man. He just wants to come back to the poker game. So now that week or whatever, he comes to like 2 poker games. He's all the way comfortable at this point. He feels as though New York done forgot about that, which I don't even understand why in the world he would do something like that, because do you not think that New York figures that you were the one that was responsible or you had something to do with him getting robbed? But I guess, you're not as street as you thought that you were. Like I said, that week goes past. Dude's in a couple of his poker games, and about a whole month had passed. New York got elephant memory. Forget nothing. Dude goes to take a shower, man. Now this is something that had been carefully calculated, carefully thought out, somewhat planned. Everything in prison is about routine. Typically, you learn to live off of a structure, a routine, and that's one thing that prison does for you. A lot of people, oh man, you're gonna go to prison to get rehabilitated. You don't get rehabilitated in prison, man. Locking people up is a business, man. There's nothing that's gonna rehabilitate you in prison. You're gonna meet more people that was on the same criminal level that you was on or close to it or whatever, and if you choose to, you're gonna learn how to do the exact same thing that you were once doing, but just do it better. I'm not saying everybody goes that route, but to think that you're going to go to prison and get some help and get rehabilitated, BS. It just doesn't work that way. You change when you're ready to change. Does prison influence you to change? Absolutely. Because the hard times that you're doing in there and the times that you're away from your family and loved ones, your girl, wife, whatever, you thinking about these things, hopefully, and being that you don't want to be away from them and experience these things once again, then you begin to change. But to just think that you're gonna go into prison and just have a miraculous, no, it don't work that way whatsoever. As I was stating, everything's about routine. New York knew with time that mop head typically got into the shower. Now, in this particular facility that we were in, okay, so when you walk into the bathroom, right, it's a huge bathroom. And so when you walk into the bathroom, they have like the urinals, then they have they got the urinals in the front, then they have the sinks. And you keep walking through. It's kind of like a long maze a little bit. I know it's kind of weird, but you keep walking through, and they got the stalls. They actually had stalls. They had toilets in the front along with the urinals, but there was no stalls. Most people that had to use the bathroom, sit down or whatever, they're going to go to the stalls. They got like 3 or 4 stalls in the back. Now in the back, once you pass the stalls that are on the right hand side, they got the showers. But they had the showers divided with curtains. Not curtains that you would have in your bathroom, but like kind of like the industrial type of, just a regular white curtain that's hanging up or whatever. So you got a shower area that probably holds about 5 or 6 people, but it's courtesy. It will be one person at a time in the shower. Then you got another shower, and they're all sectioned off by the curtains. So they probably have like 4, maybe 5 showers that are capable of holding 5, 6 people, but it will be one person at a time getting into the showers. Probably one of the biggest bathrooms I've ever seen. That's where people will go and fight, because no COs would ever see or hear anything, and the bathroom's so big and it's enough room. Dudes will get in the bathroom then. You got a problem? I'm done talking, man. Get on in this bathroom, man. And we can handle it, Go to the bathroom, man. I've been in the bathroom a couple times, man. But nevertheless, it's just part of going to prison, man. Y'all rock with me, man. The Cash App is $KENZ1000. $KENZ1000. Dudes in the shower. Mop heads in the shower. New York's going to make its move. Once again, New York ain't forgot about anything. He goes into the shower. Mop head's in there. He's rapping. He's, going through his thing. He's comfortable or whatever. New York rides on him. When he rides on him, he's caught with his pants down, literally. What's up, bro? What's up? Yeah, you thought it was over? You thought you was just gonna rob me? Huh? You thought you was just gonna rob me? New York had a sword, man. Not a lot of people knew that he had it. He had a sword. It was an ice pick. I'm talking about, man, this mug was, dog, crazy. Like a foot long, man. Pause. He goes in there with this sword, man. He's going to unalive this dude, man. You just gonna rob me? You gonna play me like I'm a punk? He goes in. Dude's trying to run around. Hey, help. Ain't nobody gonna help you. Who gonna help you? But he's screaming, hey, come on. Dude had locks. He had long locks. So when he tried to get away, you got to keep in mind, New York's like 6'3", so, he's a hooper or whatever. He used to be a hooper, so he had long arms or whatever. Dude's trying to run away. He ends up grabbing him by his hair. And he got long dread. He got him by his hair. What you gonna do? Where you gonna run to? And he got that sword of justice in his right hand, man. Oh, hold on, kids. How you know you wasn't there? Yeah, but I know, because I know. Put it that way. He got that sword of justice out, man. He had all intentions of just sending him out there in a box, man. Something clicked in his mind. The second and third chance that he got in life, from death row to a life sentence, to clicked in his mind. He had 2 daughters. They weren't particularly fond of him. One was a little bit more fond, gave him a little bit more leeway, but the other one, and he had like 4 grandkids, and they was all girls. And he would talk to them, and he had formed a relationship on the phone with them, and granddaddy's coming home. And all of these things, I guess, flashed in his mind. Matter of fact, I know that flashed in his mind when he was getting ready to, because he had that blade for real. I knew Dante from the Dante Show the Dante Show Network was the blade pusher in prison. So that's what he calls himself, the self-proclaimed blade pusher. But this dude, if Dante was the blade pusher, this dude was the sword pusher, man. Know what he could run to. There's nothing he could do. Instead of stabbing him, he turns the sword over like this way, and he had like a heck of a handle on it. It's all about the handle. You got a good, strong handle, from what I hear. I ain't never had one, and I'm not even being facetious. I ain't never really, you know what I mean? But he turns it over. Boom! Hits him in the side of the face with the back of the, the back of the handle. Hits him a couple times. That splits him. Dude is split. Beats him with that handle pretty good, man. Puts the knife, the sword up to his face. Tells him, if you on this yard by in the morning, I'm gonna come back and finish the job. If you on this yard by in the morning, I'm gonna come back and finish the job. Don't you ever play me like that, bitch. It's New York City, son. Kid. Shout out to New York. Shout out to the Bronx, man. Bronx Scat Pack. If you know, you know. Dream Scat Pack, rather. My bad. Let him go, man. Not knowing if there's going to be any sort of retaliation. Not knowing if... But he let him go. Busted him up pretty bad. But he let him go. Dude got himself together. He goes to the people. He tells them, hey, man, I need to get off the yard, man. They see that he's busted up. So it's an automatic investigation. Well, who did this to you? Man, nobody did. I fell in the shower. You fell in the shower? You did all of that? I fell in the shower, man. I need to get off his yard. One thing in prison you don't want to be is a rat. The only thing that you can probably get away with ratting on in prison is somebody takes your manhood. Man, if somebody takes your manhood and you tell whatever, man, you getting a pass for that, because that's just not cool. It's not cool, man. See, now they have what's called PREA, Pre-Grape or Pre-R-Word Elimination Act. Pre-R-Word Elimination Act. Get right on the phone and tell the people, hey, I got a problem. This dude is trying to do this to me, or this dude has assaulted me, or and they come in just like that. But back in the day, you didn't have PREA. You didn't have all of those things. And when you're on the phone, people don't know that you're talking to the PREA people. They just think that you're on a regular phone call. That's how informants get their daily duties done in prison. They're on the phone talking to the administration, talking to the people or whatever, and you think that they just talking to their girl, their mama, their kids or whatever, and they reporting everything that they see. Yeah, it's rats in prison. Probably more rats in prison than it is out here on the streets. Dude got up through there. Mophead got up through there, man. Never a word was mentioned. New York was never, his name never came up. One thing I do respect about Mophead, he didn't say a word, man. He didn't say nothing. I guess he felt lucky to even be alive, man, because I'm talking to New York, man, and he tells him, he said, kid, he would always call me kid. He said, kid, I had every intention on doing him in when I went in. When I went in that shower, I had every intention on them taking him out on a body bag, in a body bag, toe tag. You don't play with me like that, man. You don't play with me like that. Now the yard knew, the streets knew that what had happened, just nobody said anything. I'm sure that word probably got back to administration, you know, but I guess they didn't have any proof. Well, I know that they didn't have any proof. I don't, you know, he was never questioned about it. He was never, because a lot of times they'll lock you up pending investigation. If your name comes up in something and they feel as though you had something to do with it, or they heard that you had something to do with it, they'll lock you in the hole for, you know, till further notice. It's like when the police tell you, oh, you're not arrested, you're just being detained for your safety. So I'm in handcuffs for my safety. Well, that's what they'll do you in penitentiary. They say, well, you're not being punished, but I'm in the hole 23 hours a day. I don't have my TV. I don't have my radio or my MP3 player. not out on the yard with everybody else, but I'm not being tamed. No, you're just being investigated. Just calm down. We're going to get this matter situated as quickly as we can, and we're going to... I'm looking at New York like, you're crazy for real, bro. But I already knew that. You don't just go to death row just to... You don't just, draw your name out of a hat. Oh, I got to go to death row. You don't just steal something out of Walmart or write a couple checks or, credit card fraud or... No, man. You go to death row for a reason. You go to death row for a real reason. But see, people get too comfortable with you in prison. That's why you try your best to not play. Because once you get comfortable with a person, that's my dog, man. I can talk to him like this. And they let you get away with it. And then you push the envelope, and you push the envelope, and you push the envelope. And then next thing you know, you done got real disrespectful. I never pushed that envelope, and that's the one thing that he always liked about me. Like I said, I talk about my Dallas Cowboys or whatever, but it would just be that. It would never... I didn't even call his team trash. I never said who got the most titles? Who won this? Who won that? And I would leave it at that. Because if a person feels as though you trying to play them for soft in prison, and these things happen on the streets just as well, but I'm just... in this particular matter, if you will, I'm talking about prison. If a person feels as though you playing them for soft, man, it's not going to be a good day for you. Now, I told a story before about an individual, and we was all cool. Me, New York, and another cat, Joseph. Joe. I just never came back with part 2 with you all. We would all play chess every day. Joe had done a lot of time, too. Joe was about 5'11". Seriously, 5'11", dark-skinned dude. You could tell, man, dude worked out, man. He's every bit of probably 225, 230. Seen Joe just knock a dude straight out. Dude was running his mouth, kept talking crazy, put a lock in the sock, came up, swung at Joe, missed him. Like Joe had kind of stepped to the side and grabbed his arm so he couldn't swing the lock in the sock and knocked him straight out. I'm talking about went to sleep. Joe was a cool dude, though. He wasn't a bully. He had like a little baby fro, give you anything that he had if he fooled with you. Even if he didn't fool with you, man, if you need something, he got you. We played chess every day, and we was playing. And Joe thought I said something that I didn't say. See, in penitentiary in Kentucky, how can I put this? If you're a man, but you're portraying to be a woman on the yard, meaning you wearing the little small shorts, you got the Kool-Aid on your lips, you got the, you barrettes in your hair, you're portraying to be a woman. Well, in Kentucky, they call that trim. That's what they call it, trim. Well, we were playing chess, and we would talk crazy in chess, but once again, never anything out of the norm. I said something, and Joe thought that I called him trim. Never would I disrespect anybody like that. But he thought that I referred to him as trim. And Joe stood up. I'm sitting in the chair because he got up so smooth. And we're at like a little table or whatever, so we're not very far away from each other. Like the little small square, like card tables or whatever. He stands up. A lot of times people stand up when they go and make a move in chess, or they, don't think nothing of it. Next thing I know, boom, slap the shit out of me, man. Yeah, see, me, I'm not afraid to tell what really happened. A lot of people get on here and say what they was doing. They was knocking people out, and I'm not to be the judge of anybody. Maybe they were. I don't know. Man, he slapped fire out of me. Boom! Ever call me trim? And when he slapped me, I fell back in the chair. Because when he hit me, like, he didn't catch me in my face, luckily. Kind of caught me, like, on the other side of my face, but, like, side of my head. Mind you, here I am waiting to go home. Parole. You feel me? These are the type of things that happen. These are the type of things that happen. I don't even feel like I put myself in a bad situation. We played chess all the time. It was my dog. But at the same time, you feel like a man that called you trim, that's a real insult. So, New York, he's always at the table, and a couple other dudes we always play with. They was like, bro, what you on, man? What you doing, bro? What you doing? So I'm trying to get my wits together. I'm trying to get up off the, I'm getting out of because my chair went all the way back, so I'm on my back. Dude could have really just stomped me all the way out, man. So I'm getting up, and they're like, bro, man, y'all ain't heard a nigga call me Trim? He was like, fam. He called you fam. I said like fam or something. He didn't call you Trim, dog. Now you tripping, man. That's your mans, man. Y'all play. No, he called me Trim. No, he didn't, bro. He didn't call you Trim. So I'm hearing all of this, but I'm like, again, I'm surprised. I'm mad. I cannot stand for nobody to put their hands on me, man. That's one thing that I cannot stand, is somebody to put their hands on me, man. So he's like, bro, he didn't call me Trim. He didn't call me Trim. Everybody's telling him like, no. So dude comes over and he's like trying to help me up, because I'm still, now this happened way faster than how I'm trying to explain it. So I'm trying to get up. I'm a little dazed, but I'm all right. It's just like, damn, my dude just hit me like that. Everybody's looking, man. It's all eyes on me, man. Damn, dog, my bad, man. My girl ain't answering the phone, dog, and I just been kind of in a little mood, dog, and I thought you know what I'm saying, my bad, and he's helping me up, right? So, natural instinct would be, man, I'm good, man, get off of me, man. So I extend, he extends his hand, I reach my hand out, and he's helping me up. And when he's helping me up, like, he's a strong dude, man. So I'm allowing him to kind of like pull me up, right? I already know what I'm gonna do. So I'm allowing him to pull me up, and he's using like a lot of his momentum to pull me up. So as he pulls me up, and now I'm on 2 feet, boom, I just sock him. Now I'm in a situation because I'm about to get a write-up, go to the hole, and now they're gonna review my parole case and say, oh, you like to fight, huh? Well, I tell you what, since you like to fight so much, give us another 12 months, give us 15 months, and we'll revisit your parole then, since you like to fight. You like to be amongst the lions, tigers, goons, gorillas, and birds. Boom! Hit him. Sock him. When I hit him, he falls backwards. Falls into the wall or whatever. Yeah, what's happening? So now it's all the way on. We not in the bathroom. It's just right there. Just luckily no COs. It's only one CO. You got 253, 300 inmates. You got one, maybe 2 COs, and the other one's just walking through or whatever, coming to get the other one a break, or just might be a sergeant or whatever. But nevertheless, I'm still off on him, like I said, boom. Now we squared up. He looking at me like, damn, this dude got some heart. I mean, I don't know why he would have thought that I didn't. Man, I kid you not, man. Most of the time in prison, man, people don't have logic. They don't have voice of reasons. Most people in prison is a sandwich or 2 short of a picnic. He was like, I can't even be mad at you, man. I guess I deserve it. He was like, damn, this nigga hit hard. Hey, man, we laughed about it later on, but I still didn't trust him, because I just knew at any given time he may think about that and be like, oh, hell no. But I was not about to let this individual put his hand on me. You see what I'm saying? Now, I know that didn't necessarily have anything to do with the story per se in some people's minds, but it did. The point is, you don't play with nobody in prison. That's the reason that I told you all. You don't play with nobody, and you don't let nobody play with you. You see somebody's playing with you, you nip it in the bud. You see somebody who wants to play the gay games and pat you on your butt or something like that, man, you better go on and take off on him right off top, because if you don't, they're going to do it again and again and again. The next thing you know, they're going to really be trying to play with you. Don't let nobody, I don't care if you're not tough. I don't care, whatever the case may be. You're a man. Don't let nobody play with you in prison. And unfortunately for youngster, which he really wasn't that young, because like I said, he was about 30, 31, which he appeared to be. Mophead had to learn that the hard way, and he really, really could have lost his life. His face and everything was going to heal up. He could have easily lost his life. You don't know who you playing with. You don't have no clue what this person is capable of and what this person has done and will do. I don't care how cool you are with a person. Don't play with them, man. Don't disrespect nobody. And that goes for the streets just as well, man. You catch that person on the wrong day, Like dude said, man, I ain't heard from my girl, man, and I was just, my mind is playing. I'm sorry, bro. I thought that you called me trim, and I should have known. Yeah, you right, man. Yeah, dog, I'm good. Damn! Tagged his ass, man. You know what I mean? Damn, this nigga hit hard. Real Kens TV. Hopefully you like the video. Feel free to comment. Definitely share, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and be sure to hit that post notification. So anytime I bring you this action and this heat, guess what? You're amongst the first to receive, man. Shout out to my dog Joe. Shout out to my dog New York, and even shout out to Mophead, man. Real Kens TV.